Welcome to day 20 of our school year. Finished a second row here. Right, let's get down our beginning fraction. We have 180 total school days, so that's our denominator, and we're on day 20. Let's go ahead and decide if our numerator is prime or composite. So let's look at 20. 20 is not circled. It is composite. Also, it's an even number. The only even number that's prime is 2. So since it's composite, we need to find the prime factorization for both our numerator and our denominator. So let's see, 180 is even, I can divide by 2. 90 is even, I can divide by 2. I can't do half of 90, but I can do half of 80, which is 40, and then half of 10, which is 5. Okay, that ends in a 5, so I can divide by 5. I get 9. I can divide by 3. I get 3. When I get to a prime number, I am done. 20 is even, I can divide by 2, I get 10. Still even, I can divide by 2, I get 5. Okay, so now 5 is prime. We're done. Let's write down our prime factorization from least to greatest. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. And for our numerator, 2 times 2 times 5. Now let's see what we have in common in the numerator and the denominator. So I have 2 times 2 there, and then I have the 5 also. So everything in the numerator is common with the denominator. That means our greatest common factor, 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 is 20. 20 is our greatest common factor. We'll be left with a 1 in the numerator, and then 3 times 3, 9 in the denominator. So let's go ahead and make our groups of 20. Make sure you keep your shaded separated from your unshaded, and you have 20 in each group. Now I'm going to use the fact that I know that each row has 10. 2 10s make 20. If you need to count them to make your groups, that does work. It takes a little bit longer, but it does work, and it's better to get to the right answer slowly than the wrong answer quickly. But using logic and reasoning can help us get to a solution in a more expedient way. Okay, so there's all our groups of 20. Let's count them up and see how many total groups we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have one group shaded in. So let's go ahead and prove it with our algorithm. We're going to divide by 20. That's our greatest common factor. Let's get out our area model. So let's do, I know that 20 nickels, 5 times 20 is 100. 20 nickels makes $1. So I get numbers the same, zeros a game. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, numbers the same, zeros a game. So now I bring the 80 up here. Let's see. If I do 2 times 20, I get 40. Numbers the same, zeros a game. More on top, no need to stop. Then I bring that 40 up again. Times 2, I get 40. Now you may have seen, numbers the same, zeros the game. You may have already recognized that 9 times 20 would have worked and you were done there, or you may have recognized that 4 times 20 would work here. It's just make sure that you are using numbers you know for sure to get to the answer. I add up my partial quotients, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and now let's look at our numerator. And 20 times 1 is 20. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Still want to check our answers, which is our divisor times our quotient plus our remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. But we don't need to add our remainder on each one because the identity property of addition says it's going to stay the same. Here, 9 times a placeholder is a placeholder. It just moves it over a place. And then 9 times 2 is 18. Here we have the identity property of multiplication that says when you multiply by 1, it stays the same. 180, that matches my dividend. 20 matches my dividend, so that checks. So my numerator is definitely 1, and my denominator is definitely 9. I've proven it actually 3 ways, because that's what I said over here also. Let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 1, week 5. Today is 9/5/19, and our fraction for today is 1/9. Let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 20. Groups of 20. So here we go over to the first line. 1 out of 9 completed. 9 groups of 20 days. There's 9 sections here. If we look, we have an equivalent fraction at 10, at 5, at 4, at 2. So 2, 4, 5, 10 are all common factors, but 20 was our greatest common factor. And then here at 20, 180ths. So 1/9 is our equivalent fraction in lowest terms or our simplest form. Let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.